The moment the episode starts, chaos is already in the air. You can feel it, the same way you feel a storm rolling in when the air gets too still. We're back with My Life with the Walter Boys, and let's be honest, this show is the emotional equivalent of juggling fireworks while blindfolded. But that's exactly why we can't stop watching. Okay, deep breath, I say, pretending I'm emotionally prepared. I'm not even close. The storm. Before the barn, the last episode ended in disaster, so of course the first thing out of my mouth is, if that barn burns down, I'm throwing hands. Cut to lightning striking. God clearly heard me and said, bet. The screen flashes and chaos unfolds. People are yelling, horses are screaming, and I'm sitting there shouting at the TV, "Someone get the horses out, you absolute clowns!" And there's Alex stumbling around, clearly drunk. Meanwhile, Will is just standing there like a decorative lamp. I'm yelling, "Move, Will! Do something! Your brother's literally dying!" The entire farm feels cursed again. It's giving the summer I turned pretty energy, except instead of beach houses and romance, we've got ranches and fire insurance claims. Sponsored sanity break, barely. Right when things are getting too intense, we pivot to a sponsored moment. And honestly, it fits perfectly. Ever cried over your phone bill? I asked the audience deadpan. Same. Apparently, there's a wireless plan that doesn't cost your soul, and I appreciate that because clearly, I need something stable in my life. The show isn't giving that to me, but soon, we're back to emotional whiplash. The parents are out on a date for once. Lightning's doing parkour and everyone's screaming about how everything's ruined again. The aftermath of the fire ashes, smoke, broken hearts. The brothers are blaming each other. Because of course that's what the Walter boys do best. Cole's like, "I thought you changed." Alex fires back, "Yeah, well, I thought you grew up." Ouch. I can feel my blood pressure rising. "Can you two just fight it out already?" I mutter, "like real siblings?" The entire show feels like watching a family reunion where someone spiked the lemonade. There's tension, tears, and an unspoken question hanging in the air. Why are these people always in crisis? Of horses and heartbreaks, somewhere in the rubble, a secret compartment is discovered. Because of course there's always a metaphor hiding in the ashes. It's their old family pillar, covered in markings of their past arguments. It's sad, nostalgic, and weirdly poetic. "You could hang that above the fireplace," I say. Call it modern trauma art. But before I can process that emotional depth, we're back to teenage drama. Alex confesses he cheated. Someone's crying. Someone's angry. Someone's probably still drunk. And I can't help but laugh. Not because it's funny, but because it's so much. This show is allergic to peace, I whisper. Teenage chaos and emotional taxes. We pivot to the high school scenes, and suddenly everyone's flirting like it's an Olympic sport. Lockers slam, hormones explode, and somewhere in the chaos, someone says, "I say I love you to everyone all the time." Girl, that's not romantic. That's a cry for help, I groan. The teenage angst is unreal. You've got one person confessing love, another person confused, and a third person probably making out behind the bleachers. Every episode feels like watching someone drive a car blindfolded and calling it self-discovery. And then, boom, a villain appears. Not the fun, campy kind. The kind that smiles sweetly while stabbing you verbally. She looks Jackie in the eye and says, "You must feel like bad luck just follows you." Excuse me? The audacity. "Girl, I hope karma trips you in the hallway," I mumble. Love triangles and emotional math by. This point, I've lost count of who's dating who's crying, and who's pretending not to care. Jackie's torn between Cole and Alex. Cole's moody but somehow lovable. Alex is trying to be the nice guy, but keeps tripping over his own ego. I'm sitting there whispering, "Pick peace, Jackie, not a man." Just peace, but she won't. She's in too deep, and every decision she makes just digs the hole deeper. It's all secrets, whispers, and stolen glances. Everyone's saying, "Let's not tell anyone," and I'm yelling, "That's literally how people end up in therapy." The Great Piss debacle? Yes, really. Then we hit what I can only describe as peak teenage stupidity. One of the boys gets caught up in a drug test scandal. Another begs, "Please, bro, take the test for me." I clutch my imaginary pearls. He did not just ask for backup urine. It's absurd and hilarious and somehow still emotional. Because underneath the nonsense, it's about loyalty. And the painful moment you realize your friend's version of loyalty comes at your expense. And when Cole refuses, I actually cheer. Finally. Character development. Everything explodes, emotionally. Of course, the tension builds until everything breaks again. Secrets come out, hearts shatter, and relationships implode faster than my patience. Cole's torn between being the responsible adult trapped in a teenager's life and falling for someone who keeps choosing chaos. Jackie's emotions are spinning like a weather vane in a tornado. And Alex? He's the storm itself, a mess of pride, guilt, and teenage rage. Then comes the moment. Cole confesses, "I love you, Jackie. And if I'm wrong, just say it," and she says it back. My jaw drops. Finally, I scream, right before tragedy strikes again, because of course it does. The universe doesn't let the Walters have peace. There's a collapse, a cry, a twist that rips the air out of the room. Not again, I whisper. Not like this. The emotional barn of doom by now. I'm emotionally drained, but the show isn't done with me. We've got the ranch drama, the family tension, the whole build the lodge subplot, and I'm screaming at the TV, "Why are you making things harder for yourselves?" There's heartbreak, guilt, and yet another horse scene that somehow makes me tear up. Cole's tired of being misunderstood. Jackie's tired of choosing between wrong and wronger. And me? I'm tired, but addicted. Because even when the dialogue is dramatic to the point of parody, the heart of the show is still real. It's about broken families trying to rebuild, teenagers learning who they are, and love, messy, inconvenient love that refuses to die quietly. The cliffhanger. The finale hits like a sucker punch. Just when things seem almost okay, just when it feels like maybe they'll get their act together, life pulls the rug again. There's an emergency, a shocking call, a collapse that leaves everyone breathless. I can't even form words. I just sit there in stunned silence, whispering, "This show is going to kill me." When the credits finally roll, I laugh through the pain. Somehow I'm Team Cole now, I admit reluctantly. Didn't see that coming, but deep down I know the truth. I'll be back next season, ready to yell at the screen again. Because no matter how many times this show breaks me, I'm hooked. Closing thoughts. The Walter boys' world is a circus of emotions. Love, guilt, loyalty, chaos, and yet there's something magnetic about it. It's messy, but so are we. It's dramatic, but it feels real. And maybe that's why we keep watching, because somewhere in all the noise, we see a little bit of ourselves, the part that keeps hoping for peace in a world that just won't stop catching fire. So yeah, somehow, against all odds, I'm Team Ranch. But mostly, I'm Team Survival.